Hello there. I'm Dr. Tom Cutting. Welcome to my channel, where I review films and provide a psychological analysis of the characters in the films. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. What happens when you are minding your own business and living your best life and are suddenly sucked into a world of kidnapping, criminals, and nihilists? When one day your greatest concern is whether your bowling league team makes it to the next round of the tournament, and the next you find yourself in hostage negotiations. Today we will analyze The Big Lebowski, a story about bowling, mistaken identity, and a rug that really tied the room together. More than that, this is a story about how friendship weathers the storms of crisis and what people discover about themselves when faced with tribulation. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This is a psychological analysis of fictional characters in a film for educational purposes. This is not a diagnosis of the actors portraying these characters. Our story begins with the narration of Sam Elliott telling us where our story begins. Los Angeles in 1990. This movie was made in 1998, meaning it is set 8 years in the past. For some quick perspective, that would be the equivalent of a movie in 2025 being set in 2017. Sam introduces us to Jeffrey Lebowski, the protagonist of our story, telling us that he calls himself the Dude. Here we learn that the Dude is the laziest man in Los Angeles, putting him in the running for laziest worldwide. The Dude is grocery shopping for half and half in his bathrobe, sampling it before writing a check for the 67 cents. He returns to his apartment, only to be ambushed by a pair of thugs demanding to know where the money is. We learn that there's another Jeffrey Lebowski, who is a millionaire, whose wife, Bunny, owes money to the boss of the thugs, Jackie Treehorn. The thugs realize that this is a case of mistaken identity and leave, but only after shoving the Dude's head in the toilet and peeing on his rug. We are then taken to the bowling alley, where we meet the Dude's two best friends and bowling partners, Walter and Donnie. The Dude naturally tells them about his mistaken identity experience, and we learn that the peed-upon rug really tied the room together. Walter emphatically tells the Dude that he is owed a new rug. In the next scene, the Dude pays a visit to the other Jeffrey Lebowski to seek compensation for his ruined rug. We see that the other Lebowski is an older man of wealth and achievement who is wheelchair-bound and lives in a mansion. He declines to compensate the Dude for the rug. When asked by Lebowski's assistant Brandt how the meeting went, the Dude tells him, "Great, the old man told me to take any rug in the house." As the Dude is escorted back to the entrance of the estate, they pass by the pool and he briefly meets Bunny and a nihilist who is passed out drunk in the pool. We then return to the bowling alley. Here we get an introduction to Walter's intensity when he holds another league player at gunpoint during a dispute about scoring. Later, the Dude and Walter are in the parking lot, talking in the Dude's car. In the background, we see police arrive and rush into the bowling alley, presumably responding to the incident that just occurred. In their conversation, we see the Dude essentially telling Walter to be more empathic and tone down the intensity. The Dude returns home and checks his voicemail, discovering that he has an urgent message from Lebowski's assistant Brandt, stating that something bad has happened and asking for the Dude's assistance. The Dude returns to the Lebowski mansion where he learns that Bunny has been kidnapped with a ransom of $1 million being demanded. Lebowski is asking the Dude to be the courier of the ransom money, as he suspects that the kidnappers may be the same men who had assaulted the Dude earlier, and that he may be able to confirm their identities during a ransom exchange. Back again in the bowling alley, the Dude informs Walter and Donnie that he is being entrusted with the ransom money, and that Mr. Lebowski will be compensating him $20,000. The dude hypothesizes that Bunny has kidnapped herself in order to get more money from her wealthy and much older husband. Later, back at his apartment, the dude is lying on his new rug and listening to audio recordings of bowling when he is assaulted by intruders. These are not the same intruders from before. One of them promptly knocks him out with a punch to the face, causing the dude to have some sort of vision where he is flying over the greater Los Angeles area. He regains consciousness to find himself lying on the hardwood floor, the rug nowhere to be seen. The dude returns to the Lebowski mansion after being paged. Brandt gives him a suitcase with the money. The dude is informed that the kidnappers called and want one person to drive north on the 405 freeway, and they will call. He is also given a giant portable phone for this purpose. We then see the dude picking up Walter, who immediately commandeers the car. Walter has brought a bag filled with his dirty laundry, intending to switch it out for the briefcase with the ransom money. This plan fails. The dude and Walter still have the money, and now the kidnappers are angry. Walter suggests that they go bowling. After bowling, the guys return to the parking lot to find that the dude's car has been stolen. The briefcase with the ransom money in it was in the car, so this is a massive problem. The dude gets a voicemail from Mr. Lebowski's daughter, Maud, informing him that she stole his rug and needs to speak with him immediately. The dude meets Maud and learns that Bunny Lebowski has been having an affair with Jackie Treehorn, who we learn is a kingpin in the adult film industry. Mr. Lebowski apparently has taken $1 million from the Little Lebowski Urban Achievers Foundation. Maud is aware of this as a trustee of the foundation. She proposes to the dude that if he can get the money back from whomever he delivered it to, she will compensate him with 10% or $100,000. The dude is dropped off in a limo back at his apartment, only to be grabbed and shoved into the back of a different limo and confronted by Mr. Lebowski and Brandt. They have learned that the kidnappers did not receive the money. However, the dude insists that he gave it to them. The dude then tells Mr. Lebowski that Bunny kidnapped herself. Lebowski and Brandt reveal that they have received an envelope with Bunny's toe in it. Lebowski, believing that the dude has stolen the money, informs him that he will tell the kidnappers to do whatever is necessary to recover the money from him. The dude tells Walter about the toe and that he now believes that Bunny has actually been abducted. Walter remains steadfast in his belief that Bunny has faked the kidnapping, assuring the dude that the toe in the envelope could belong to anyone. "You want a toe? I can get you a toe, dude." Back home, the dude is taking a relaxing bath and smoking the jazz cabbage. The nihilists from earlier, along with two accomplices, break in and demand to know where the money is, informing the dude that they will be back tomorrow and will harm him if they do not get the money. The dude learns that his car has been found and he picks it up at the impound lot, only to discover that the briefcase is gone. Back at the bowling alley, the dude laments to Walter and Donnie that he has become involved in this whole situation. Like Bilbo Baggins longed for the Shire upon the slopes of the Lonely Mountain, the dude would give anything to have his peaceful previous existence back, even if his rug had pee on it. The dude visited Maud again and tells her that he believes Bunny has actually been kidnapped, telling her about the nihilists who threatened him. Maud points out that Bunny knows these men, making it more likely that she is in on it. Later on, the dude is drinking while driving and smoking more of the jazz cabbage, resulting in him crashing into a dumpster. This leads to the dude finding a page of homework belonging to a Larry Sellers. Walter and the dude pay a visit to Larry and his parents. Larry will not tell them where the money is. Assuming that the brand new Corvette parked in front of the house was the result of Larry having already begun a spending spree with the money, Walter begins smashing it with a crowbar while yelling, "This is what happens when you screw over a stranger." Interestingly, since the actual phrase used is not family friendly, for TV broadcasts it was changed to, "This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps." Anyway, it turns out that the car belonged to an unfortunate neighbor. Back at his apartment, the dude once again has intruders. Despite his best efforts, the thugs from the beginning of the film have returned and take the dude to see Jackie Treehorn. Jackie believes that the dude is in cahoots with Bunny to get money from Lebowski with the kidnapping ruse. Jackie makes it clear that Bunny still owes him money and he wants the debt paid. He offers the dude a $5,000 finder's fee to recover the money. The dude tells him that the money is in the possession of a teenager named Larry Sellers, who is flunking social studies. The dude then realizes that his drink was spiked and soon loses consciousness. The dude experiences yet another vivid vision where he is in a massive cosmic bowling alley with Maud and Saddam Hussein. He regains consciousness as he is running down the middle of a busy street and is soon picked up by the police. At the local police station, the chief hits the dude in the head with a coffee mug and tells him to stay out of Malibu. We then see that the dude is being driven home in a cab but soon gets kicked out for complaining about the driver playing the Eagles. A convertible speeds by and we see that it is driven by a very non-kidnapped bunny with all of her toes intact. Apparently, Walter was right about the toe. The dude returns home to find his apartment completely ransacked and the majority of his belongings destroyed. Maud is there and propositions him for adult relations, stating afterwards that she wants a child but no involvement from the father, and that she considers the dude an excellent candidate for this. Maud reveals to the dude that her father has never had any of his own money. All the money was from his late wife, and Maud lets him live in the mansion and gives him an ample allowance. We then see the nihilists ordering pancakes at a diner. A fourth female member is with the group, and we see that she has a bandaged foot, revealing that she is the source of the ransom tow. Again, Walter was correct. The dude and Walter head to the Lebowski mansion, finding that Bunny has returned. Brandt tells them that she has been out partying with friends and was never kidnapped. The nihilists had known she was gone and used the opportunity to blackmail Lebowski for money. Lebowski had used this as an opportunity to embezzle $1 million from the foundation, giving the dude a briefcase with no actual money in it, and then claiming that the money had been stolen by the man that he had entrusted with it. After Lebowski confirms that he had embezzled the money and used the dude as a patsy, Walter declares his certainty that Lebowski is faking paralysis, lifts him out of his wheelchair, and sets him on his feet. Lebowski crumbles to the floor, as he is indeed a paraplegic. Later on at the bowling alley, our trio are heading to their cars when they are confronted in the parking lot by the nihilists. They have set the dude's car alight and are once again demanding money. A fight ensues and Walter dispatches of all three nihilists. But tragically, Donnie collapses during the chaos and succumbs to a cardiac arrest, likely brought on by the stress of the incident. Donnie is cremated and the dude and Walter handle Donnie's funeral arrangements. They learn that urns are expensive. Cut to the next scene and we see the dude and Walter holding Donnie's ashes in a Folgers can. Walter says some words and proceeds to release Donnie's ashes. However, the wind coming off the ocean blows all of the ashes onto the dude. The dude is angry, but Walter embraces him. We are then taken to the bowling alley one last time, where we see the dude grabbing 2 beers from the bar and saying hi to Sam Elliott. The dude is in a good mood now that his life is back to normal, telling Sam, "The dude abides." Sam caps off the movie with some parting words. "I don't know about you, but I take comfort in that. It's good to know that he's out there, the dude, taking her easy for all us sinners. I didn't like to see Donnie go, but I hear there's a little Lebowski on the way. I guess that's how the whole darn human comedy keeps perpetuating itself." And so concludes The Big Lebowski. Let's begin the analysis by taking a look at Walter before we move on to our main character, the dude. So what do we know about Walter? Well, he's a middle-aged Vietnam veteran whose main passion seems to be bowling. We also know that he owns his own security business and that he occasionally dog sits for his ex-wife. Walter is extremely rigid and a stringent follower of rules. He strongly resists giving the dude a ride on a Friday night because he is observing the Sabbath, and it takes considerable pleading from the dude for Walter to have any flexibility around this. In other instances, Walter ignores rules that he does not view as sufficiently important when compared to other rules. Examples of this include refusing to lower his voice when he is in a diner.
Please keep your voices down. This is a family restaurant.
Oh, please, dear. For your information, the Supreme Court has roundly rejected prior restraint.
This is not a First Amendment thing, man.
If you don't calm down, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Lady, I got buddies who died face down in the muck so that you and I could enjoy this family restaurant.
All right, I'm out of here.
Hey, dude, don't go away, man.
Even though this is a private establishment that can ask him to keep it down or get out. Walter locks on to his interpretation of the First Amendment and his right to free speech. During Bowling League, Walter becomes so upset about another player recording their score incorrectly that he pulls out a handgun, chambers around, and holds the other player at gunpoint until he changes the score.
Smokey, this is not Nam. This is bowling. There are rules.
Hey, Walter, come on. Hey, man, it's Smokey, so his toe slipped over a little, you know? It's just a game, man.
This is a league game. This determines who enters the next round robin. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but I wasn't...
Am I wrong?
Yeah, but I wasn't over. Give me the marker, dude. I'm marking an 8.
Smokey, my friend, you're entering a world of pain.
Walter, man.
You mark that frame an 8, you're entering a world of pain.
I'm not...
A world of pain.
Look, dude, this is your partner.
Is the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a about the rules? Mark it 0.
They're calling the cops, man. Put the piece away.
Mark it 0.
Walter, put the piece away.
Walter?
You think I'm around here? Mark it 0.
All right, it's 0. You happy, you crazy?
It's a league game, Smokey.
One of the elements that makes this such a funny scene is the irony of Walter committing a serious felony in order to enforce the rules governing a game. Is Walter cherry-picking what rules he thinks are important? It's possible, but I don't think so. I believe Walter becomes so emotionally reactive that broader rules and conventions are outside his field of awareness. When he nearly refuses to drive his vehicle to pick up the dude on the Sabbath, he is not thinking of how his friend is calling on him in a time of desperate need. He is only thinking about the religious rules he must follow. When he continues to yell in the diner and refuses to leave, he is fixated on the notion that someone is infringing on his constitutional right to free speech. The rights of the business owner and the impact his yelling has on the other customers and staff does not occur to him. When he pulls out a firearm in the bowling alley, he is not thinking about laws governing the use of firearms. Rather, he is so upset that another player could be breaking the rules of the game that he will do whatever it takes to keep the situation fair and just. And we can't forget Walter's destruction of a Corvette that he thought belonged to a teenager who he thought had the ransom money. Walter mentions his experiences in the Vietnam War throughout the film, and I believe that Walter's interesting relationship with rule following is connected to this. Now, we cannot automatically conclude that Walter has PTSD just because he is a combat veteran. But let's take a look at the diagnostic criteria and see if it seems to describe Walter in an accurate manner. There are 5 broader criteria for the PTSD diagnosis. I find it helpful to think of the first criteria, or criterion A, as the capstone, the foundational element that must first be established, while viewing criterion B through E as 4 primary symptom clusters. So criterion A is exposure to actual or threatened death, serious injury, or sexual violence. We know that Walter was deployed to Vietnam. More specifically, we know he was in combat and was exposed to death and violence. So Walter very clearly meets criterion A. Criterion B is intrusion symptoms. We need 1 or more of these. Criterion C is avoidance symptoms. We need 1 or more of these. Criterion D is negative alterations in cognitions and mood. We need 2 or more of these. And criterion E is significant alterations in arousal and reactivity. We need 2 or more of these. When we look at intrusion symptoms, we do not have any evidence that Walter experiences distressing memories, nightmares, flashbacks, or psychological distress or physiological reactions when exposed to external or internal cues that remind him of combat. Similarly, we do not have evidence that Walter avoids memories, thoughts, or feelings associated with combat, or that he avoids external reminders of his traumatic experiences. On the contrary, we see Walter discuss combat without apparent reservation. Now, what about negative alterations in cognitions and mood? This is evident in Walter's general level of anger and his exaggerated negative beliefs about others and the world in general. We also see evidence of alterations in arousal and reactivity with Walter in the form of angry outbursts, reckless behavior, and hypervigilance. Ultimately, we do not have enough information to know if Walter definitively has PTSD, as there is not evidence of intrusive symptoms or patterns of avoidance. Nevertheless, I do think that PTSD fits with the behaviors and thinking patterns that we see in Walter. This is where PTSD ties into his intense behavior surrounding rules. He views other people as untrustworthy and the world in general as a dangerous place. Walter seeks order and predictability where he can find it, and interruptions to this are an intolerable threat to his sense of safety.
This is not Nam, this is bowling. There are rules.
Due to his general distrust of others, I think that Walter lives a lonely life. We don't see much evidence of friends in his life beyond Donnie and the dude. Even with them, we see a tough guy facade throughout the film. But Walter needs emotional connection because he is still a human being, and that's something that we all need. Towards the end of the film, we see him hug the dude after attempting to spread Donnie's ashes.
Walter.
Come on, dude. Hey, fuck it, man. Let's go bowling.
While this is a funny scene on its face, below the surface is a rare moment of vulnerability and trust. Walter really needed that hug. In analyzing the dude, we should first look at how he has these visions when he is concussed or when his drink is spiked. The dude mentions having acid flashbacks, but this is not something associated with loss of consciousness and does not take the form of completely engrossing visions. The technical term that comprises acid flashbacks is hallucinogen persistent perception disorder and is associated with visual disturbances and alterations in visual perception. Basically, you see your normal reality, but it looks strange. You aren't flying over Los Angeles or renting bowling shoes from Saddam Hussein. Now, while I don't want to harsh on the dude's good time, we should probably talk about substance use disorders. In the dude's case, this pertains to alcohol and cannabis. Throughout the film, we observe the dude drinking White Russians, a cocktail consisting of vodka, Kahlua, and cream or half and half. In order to meet diagnostic criteria for alcohol use disorder, we would need to see at least two of the following symptoms in the dude. Drinking more alcohol over a longer period than originally intended. Unsuccessfully trying to cut down or control alcohol use. Craving or a strong desire or urge to use alcohol. This is like wanting to drink so much that it's difficult to think of anything else. Drinking that interferes with responsibilities at home, at work, or at school. Continuing to use alcohol even when it causes problems with family and friends. Giving up important social, occupational, or recreational activities because of alcohol use. Repeatedly using alcohol in physically hazardous situations. Developing a tolerance to alcohol, or needing more alcohol to get the same effect. Experiencing withdrawal symptoms such as shakiness, restlessness, nausea, or sweating after stopping or reducing drinking. For most of these criteria, we simply do not have enough information to know either way. However, a case could be made that the dude has cravings, as we see examples of him not being able to attend to conversations until he obtains a White Russian. Additionally, one of the only times that we see a dude drinking a beer rather than a White Russian, it is while he is driving and he subsequently crashes the car. He also likely has developed a tolerance to alcohol as he drinks throughout the film, and we do not see him appear intoxicated. Regarding cannabis use, we see the dude smoking joints throughout the film in a variety of settings, including while driving. The diagnostic criteria for cannabis use is very similar to that of alcohol use, with the following two additional elements. Excessive time spent acquiring cannabis, using cannabis, or recovering from its effects, and continued use despite physical or psychological problems associated with cannabis use. Similar to the dude's relationship with alcohol, he uses cannabis despite physical harm in the form of a car accident. He also appears to have developed tolerance to cannabis as he smokes throughout the film, but his affect and behavior remain the same when he uses, indicating that he is not getting very inebriated despite smoking frequently. So does the dude have alcohol and cannabis use disorders? He likely would meet criteria, though for both it would be of a mild severity. More severe cases of substance use disorders tend to have notable negative impacts on health, interpersonal relationships, occupational functioning, and legal status. While the dude does not have a job and does little beyond bowling, these facts are easily attributable to his profound laziness. This laziness brings us to the unique psychology that we see in the dude in this story. In analyzing this film, it struck me that it bore striking similarities to the hero's journey story pattern. In short, this story structure is that a hero goes on a journey, prevails in a crisis of some kind, and returns home transformed or changed. In the dude's journey, he experiences the telltale call to adventure when he is mistaken for the other Jeffrey Lebowski and becomes mired in a world of kidnapping, ransom money, and violence. In some sense, he voluntarily heeds the call to adventure when he pursues compensation for his peed-upon rug and later agrees to be courier for the ransom money. As the dude laments at one point in the film, if he had chosen to live with the tarnished rug, he would still be in his normal world. While the dude faces ordeals and nefarious actors, he does not triumph over them as much as he endures and survives these scenarios. Even when an actual battle takes place, it is Walter who steps up and defeats the nihilists. There's also no reward in this story. In the end, he learns that the treasure was never real. But the dude does return to his normal life, though his friend Donnie is now gone. Interestingly, this does not seem to affect the dude too significantly, which is sadly in line with how Donnie is regarded throughout the film.
Sorry to hear about Donnie.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, sometimes you eat the bar and sometimes, hey, man.
Now, does the dude return transformed after his hero's journey? It is possible that he has a newfound sense of gratitude for his simple, stress-free life. He certainly seems cheerful after the dust settles. It is also possible that he is completely unchanged and has learned nothing from these experiences. In the end, all we can know for certain is that the dude abides. And that is a comforting thought.